Hi guys, I'm back, and as you can see here, I have a new product. This is the Color Pour Pre-Mixed Pouring Paint Kit. This particular one is the Amber Drift, and this paint is apparently already mixed with what it says is our specially formulated paints come pre-mixed with the right amount of pouring medium for optimal flow and amazing results. And it's got a little thing back here. It says how-to videos at colorpour.com. It's a whole new line of products. It comes with, you can either get the pouring paint kit, which is 4 different colors. It comes in some turquoises and blues and purples, and then this pretty pink set. And then you can also buy just these bottles alone, but you can't buy this size bottle. These are 4-ounce bottles. The ones I think in the store I think are 8-ounce bottles. They don't sell the smaller bottles by themselves. And then they have a bottle of pouring medium, a bottle of Cell Magic. This is the glossy varnish, and then they have this stuff called Prism Varnish, which is an iridescent finish. Now these two I'm not going to be trying today. I'll probably try them on something different, and I'll explain to you why towards the end of this video. I actually had already made a review video for this product, but something corrupted the video and I can't post it, which is a shame because I did like 5 different paintings because I had to keep experimenting along the way. This Cell Magic, it says silicone oil on it, but I'm not entirely convinced it's 100% silicone. I really honestly don't think that it is. Judging from the results I got on the other paintings, which I will show you later, and it's kind of thick in here. Plus, on the video, it tells you that you're supposed to mix 2 ounces of paint to half a teaspoon of this Cell Magic. And as we all know, that amount of paint, we would put 1 tiny little drop of silicone oil in ours and get great results. So I think there's definitely something else in here. I have contacted the company. I did email them. I showed them my results from all my other paintings and explained a lot of stuff, and I haven't received an email back. So we shall see. But I want to show you at least, a live pour before I show you the results on all my other videos. So let's get to it. But what I will do is I will be mixing these paints with some of this pouring medium because this paint is just too thick out of the bottle. Every test I did, I had to add. I did not add any water to any of the paintings, any of the paint at all, at any time. I just used the pre-mixed paint, the Cell Magic, and the pouring medium. I didn't use anything else. Okay, well, let's get started. I'm going to put you on pause while I get some of this paint into the cups, because all that's kind of boring to watch, and we'll go from there. There are about 1 million air bubbles. I cannot get rid of them no matter what I do. That's one of the problems I had before, was for some reason this paint loves to hold on to the air bubbles. And this silicone, it just, I don't know, it does not like to mix in. It says on the website you're supposed to mix like 4 or 5 times, but then if you mix it 4 or 5 times, you can still see the silicone just sitting on top. So I feel like you kind of have to mix it a little bit more than that. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. Maybe you can see it. No, I'm like not in the light anymore. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if you can see all the air bubbles that are in it and all of the silicone that just stays separated out of it. See right there in that little corner? You can kind of see the silicone in there. Okay, let's get you back down. Turn my light off there. Oh, let's get you in focus. Well, now you guys know what I eat for breakfast. I love my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Alright, we're going to start off with this. This is Brick. This color is called Brick, even though it's not really a brick. It's more of almost like a cranberry. And then this one is peach. This one is, I cannot remember what this one is. Spice. That's what this one is. It's spice. And this one is mauve. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see all the silicone that's like pouring? It's going to pour out in front of my... Try to stir that in a little bit more. It's just not going. I want to tell y'all, with this paint, I haven't had any luck at all. And like I said, this is the 6th painting. And I'm doing it a little differently than I did the first several paintings. And again, I'll explain to you why in just a few minutes when we go over the other paintings. I'm just using up all the rest of this paint because I don't want to save any for any reason whatsoever. I'm not going to use all that because that color doesn't work real well. I hate to say that, but it just doesn't. Okay, and this is a 10" by 10" canvas that I'm using. And these paints are not cheap. They're not really expensive, but they're not... It's not like going out and buying a couple of... They look like craft paints, but it's not like going out and buying a couple of bottles of craft paint. And as you can see, I have my gloves on here. One, because I... I got a lathe from my dad. And I have... just about broken this finger, this knuckle, and this knuckle. And then yesterday I took a huge chunk of flesh. I think I burned it off on these knuckles. So, yeah, I'm trying to protect that a little bit. But more so because this paint is almost like, it reacts like house paint almost. And if you get it on your hands, it's going to take you a week. I finally got most of it off my hands, and I've been working on this for a week. So if you're going to use this product, you're going to try it out, put gloves on. Otherwise, you'll be going around with pink or turquoise or purple hands for a week. Oof. Alright, so right off you can see you're not getting a lot of cells coming up. Teeny tiny cells. But, you know, in the paint pouring world, you guys know that that's not what we're looking for. And I'm not sure if you can see that the paint is rather broken up. The cells are not, they look like little flowers. They're not nice and round. So let's, and you have to, with this paint, you have to torch it. Otherwise, you're not going to get a lot of activity. And see, all that is from air bubbles bursting. You got all these teeny tiny little, I wouldn't even call them cells, from all the air bubbles bursting, but that's about the extent of it. Because you get all these teeny tiny cells everywhere, once you start stretching it out, it really just turns to lacing. I was going to use that little one, but we need a bigger one. I forgot I've got a 10 by 10 canvas, so let's get a bigger corner catcher here and see what we can do with this this painting. So I was supposed to teach a class for the company that puts out this particular paint. And I'm not going to mention the company because I do love the store. And I go in there all the time. And the people are always really nice in there. They're always very helpful. And they're disappointed too that this is not a wonderful product. So I don't want to mention the store. But needless to say, I will not be teaching a class on this product. The paint is moving around a little better now that I have thinned it down with the color pouring medium. Because before, when it was in the bottle and I poured it straight out of the bottle, it was so thick it just didn't want to move. And if it had any cell action in it, it just wanted to run over itself. Okay. So that's it for that painting there. Let's see if we can move it around just a little bit. Just, I don't know, this corner's kind of boring. There we go. We need to break up that corner, that pink. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. It's actually not terrible. I'm not completely disliking it, but yeah, this is not what I want my paintings to look like. So I'm just going to sort of dab a little bit on the corners there, try and get where I had I guess I had my finger. And all the other corners are covered. Just going to torch it again. Get my paper towel wet. My washcloth's wet here. Ouch. I definitely don't want to get this paint on my torch. Having much luck there washing that off. See, it doesn't even like to come off the gloves. Alright, let's torch this baby. Mostly, I'm just really, you can just see like a billion air bubbles popping out of this. But you can see no cells are coming back up. I need to add some butane to my torch. It's getting low. Okay, that's good. Alright, so as you can see, I'm not like bringing up any more cells. I'm just popping air bubbles. It does not bring up cells once you move it around. It just doesn't. No matter how much you torch it. I don't know if you can see from up there, but this paint is really, for me, severely broken up. It's very chalky looking. So let me get you down so you can see this a little closer. Alright, so you can kind of see close up where like the millions of little air bubbles popped. And I had the same problem no matter what I did to this paint. It always had lots and lots of air bubbles, and there were a lot of air bubbles that just would not pop. So I'll show you the problems with that once I show you the other paintings. But I mean, if you look at that white cell right there in the middle, you can kind of see where it just looks very broken. Just kind of move you around a little bit so you can see everything. The colors, well, I mean, beautiful colors, they really are. They're very bright, very vibrant. And see right there, see the webbing you get? That's, your cells turn into webbing just about everywhere. And again, you can kind of see how sort of chalky looking they are. And very, very mixed. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what I did to begin with. Sort of show you a review of these. Okay, the first thing that I did was I just took a small 4x4 square. It's just a ceramic tile square. I took the paints directly out of the bottle, squeezed them into a little pour cup and poured them on a tile. I did not add the Cell Magic because the Cell Magic, the color pour company says that adding the Cell Magic can cause some texture. So I thought, well, if we just pour it straight out of the bottle, it ought to be nice and smooth. So this is the first one. And as you can see, it's relatively smooth, but you can see all these little lumpies, and those were the air bubbles that I could not torch out to save my life. And I did let this paint sit for a really long time. But as you can see, it's a boring painting. You know, the colors all just sort of wash over each other. There's no cell action whatsoever. Okay. The second one I did was a 6x6 tile. And I did add the Cell Magic to this. And I did follow their guidelines, 2 ounces of paint to half a teaspoon of the Cell Magic. And this is the tile. And you can see it definitely is lumpy. I didn't add any water. I didn't add any extra pouring medium to this. But you can see the texture all over it. And this is where, right there, and all these little spots in there, where the silicone, the Cell Magic silicone, sat as the paint dried and made huge, ugly divots in the painting. Plus, you can see right here near the top how chalky the paint is. So, yes, we have some cells. Luckily, they didn't turn into too much webbing. But all in all, this one's going in the trash as well. Number 3, I decided, okay, well, maybe, just maybe, the tiles are having an effect on the paint, so we'll try an actual canvas. And this is the canvas. As you can see, not a pretty painting. I'm not happy with it at all. This corner right here, don't pay attention to that. That's where I blew it out because there was just that spice color just sort of sat on top of everything and it looked terrible. And I was trying to salvage this one, but no such luck. As you can see, as I reflect against the light, all of the huge texture, all the divots in here, and this is where I blew it out. Normally when you blow the paint out, it does not, you know, it goes flat, but this one obviously did not at all. More huge divots from the silicone. They're all over the place. And the air bubbles put little tiny pinholes everywhere as well. And as you can see, I don't have cells anymore. I have lots and lots of webbing. I don't consider this cells at all. It's just webbing everywhere. And right in this area here, you can kind of see, it looks like maybe the paint is chalky. It is chalky, and also when I tried cleaning this off very, very gently, the paint comes off. So you have to be super, super, super careful when you're cleaning these because the paint wipes off very easily. Okay, let's go on to the third painting. No, the fourth painting. This is the fourth one. Okay, I'm sorry. I meant to say in the last one I did, the last one was the paints plus some of their pouring medium. I'm trying to remember because it was a few days ago, a week ago actually. Their paints, the premixed pouring paint kit plus their color pouring medium. No water at all. And then the Cell Magic. This painting here, I thought, well, you know, we'll try, I actually emailed Christina. I was like, Christina, help! What should I try to see if I can make this paint work a little better? And she said, try glue. So, I don't normally use glue in anything, but I thought, I know glue is a good binder, so we're going to use glue. So this painting right here has the premixed paint, the pouring medium, and some glue. No water, and it also has the Cell Magic. And as you can see, I pretty much got the same result as I did in the previous painting. I want to say like this area right here, the webbing is kind of pretty. and the paint is not quite as chalky looking. It didn't break up quite as much, which is good. But as you can kind of see, like in this area right over here, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of, the paint kind of broke up easily when I blew on it a little bit. And again, lots and lots of texture. But for me, that's not the kind of texture I want in my painting. That's just awful. I'm sorry, but it's just awful. That's the kind of texture I like right here, where you can see the canvas underneath. I like that. But, you know, you can see huge, messy divots, holes. You know, it's just awful. Okay, so the last painting that I did, I decided, okay, I'm not going to use their pouring medium, not going to use their Cell Magic. I'm going to use their pre-mixed pouring paint kit, plus my floetrol, plus my 100% silicone oil. And this is the result. Huge difference. Huge difference. And those of you who have ever watched Captain Ron, you'll laugh at that, at the reference to that. Okay, so anyway, I digress. This turned out really cool. I'm happy with this, except for the fact that it cracked right through there. That's lovely, lovely, huge. It looks like a critter crawled through it. You know, the paint, it doesn't actually feel too thick, so I'm not really sure why it cracked. And it didn't crack anywhere else in the painting. Plus, as you can see, it's nice and smooth texture. There are no divots from my silicone oil. It gives a slightly duller finish, but I think partly that's because of the silicone. Their silicone Cell Magic kind of sits on the surface and coats everything really shiny. And as you can see with my floetrol, the paint doesn't look as chalky. So, you know, if you guys want to try this with floetrol and silicone, it works really well. I mean, these are big, beautiful cells. It's really a pretty little painting. So that is one good thing about this pre-mixed pouring paint kit. If you mix it with the floetrol and the silicone oil, you're going to get pretty results, but you have to be careful because, like I said, it did crack. And I did add the amount of floetrol that I would normally add to my paints, and it was the actual thickness that I would normally keep my paints. So that one turned out really cool. But just as far as, you know, the kit itself, if you want to buy the kit and their products only, you're going to end up with something more like what you see in front of you. And for some of you, that may be okay. For me, that's not okay. So, you know, I prefer, you know, it's just look at the difference. There's just a big difference. So I'm going to say, whoops, just dumped all my glitter on the floor. I'm going to say for the Color Pour pre-mixed pouring paint kit and their products, I'm not real happy about them. I'm not going to use them again. You know, if the company contacts me, finally, you know, returns my email and says, hey, we'd like for you to give it some more tries, I'll be glad to work on it with them. But as it stands right now, I'm not going to teach class with this product. I am not going to promote this product. I think it needs some work. It does have some nice qualities about it, but like I said, it behaves more like house paint than it does like a craft paint or an artist paint. And I did tell them that in the email. And what else is there to say about this? I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I actually kind of like the painting a little bit. It's in its own way, it's kind of pretty. I don't know how it's going to dry. I'm curious to see if it's going to dry with all those divots and holes. Are the air bubbles, you know, I'm going to run the torch over it one more time, and we'll see how that goes. But I'll show you the painting in another video, just so you can see the dried product. And if it happens to dry nicely, I'll run maybe the prism varnish over it, the iridescent varnish, just to see, you know, what it'll do. Alright, Well, there's your pretty for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like I said, you know, this is a pretty painting. So if you want to try this product, just go buy one of the little kits and use some floetrol and silicone, 100% silicone with it. And good luck with that. Alright, I hope wherever you are on the planet, you're having an awesome afternoon, day, evening, or night. See you later. Bye.